Hello, welcome to my garden. This is Music Monday video number 1. And we went over last night some scales, some strum patterns, a little bit of how I play by ear, some finger picking patterns, and we also went over a couple of songs. The PDF file for that will be in the description below. So if you're on YouTube watching this video, check out the description. And I'm going to start with the quotes that I started with last time. So it says, she was in love with performing, but she had what people considered a weird, squeaky voice. And she played the ukulele so much at sleepovers at Joan Smith's house that Barry Brewster recalls, I wanted to say, please, Joni, take your ukulele and go home. One day, Frankie McKittrick came to visit her from North Battleford. The two old friends sat in the Andersons' basement recreation room, and Joni took out the ukulele and she said, you gotta see what I'm doing. I'm so excited about it, Frankie says. And I'm thinking, wait here, I'm the musician, you're the artist. She started singing and playing, and I really thought she wasn't very good at it. I said, Joni, stick to the art. But she wasn't listening. She had her own idea, and she wasn't about to let go of it. Aren't we glad that she didn't? So that just to say, whether you're just starting and you are really excited about this instrument, and maybe you go around, you're playing a little bit and you're just not really sure, or maybe you've been playing for a while and you're just like, man, I feel like I have tried to pick this up and something's just not clicking. I really hope that these videos do help you to find what it is that works for you. My goal in this is to work on several different things that are going to maybe resonate with different people, which is why I'm talking about strum patterns and also finger picking and also a little bit of the singing. I recommend you sing while you play. It's going to help tremendously with your ear training. Playing by ear comes pretty naturally to me, and that's okay if it doesn't for you. Like I said, singing while playing is going to help tremendously with that, but also trying to pick out a melody. So if I'm trying to pick out Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, I'm going to start with my melody string. Of course, you can just, if you feel like you want to jump from different strings, that's fine. But usually I'll just start with my melody string, my highest string, and I'll just find. So that's Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, right? I just kind of did that by figuring out da 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 da. So da 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 is higher than da. So when I'm playing, I need to go higher than that note. So I found it here. If it takes you a couple tries, da 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 da. Oh, there it is. Da 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 da. Let's see. Da 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 is higher than da 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 da. And it goes back down, right? That's how you play by ear. You just try to think of that note and then you play the note. And that's why it's super helpful for me to be able to sing it and then play it. So these are the tuning pegs, and they're pretty important to tuning your instrument. I also have a digital tuner here, and what I'm going to do is I am going to show you how I tune the instrument. So I'm going to get it out of tune first. Oh, that is not the note I'm looking for. I'm looking for a D, and right now it's saying I'm kind of closer to B. Also, I'm changing it to make sure mine says chromatic. Okay, I'm gonna move it up. Ooh, I need to go higher because it's at C and I need it at D. It's just like the alphabet, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, right? It just goes from A to G. But since we know that C is lower than D, I need to bring this up. Ooh, we're getting pretty close. Oh, I think I did it a little too much. So now I'm gonna have to go back down. And I just turn it the other way to go down. Oh, a little more. And all I'm looking for is for it to go right in between. It's easier for me to see. It might be a little harder for you to see, but I do recommend you get an electronic tuner of your own. Yes, there are free tuning apps you can use, and you can definitely use that to start with, but I would recommend that you invest in your own tuner if you're going to take your dulcimer out anywhere and play with others at any point. Now, as far as how I hold my pick, I don't see really anybody hold their picks like how I do, but this is how I hold my pick. And I haven't really had anybody tell me that that's not the way to do it, though most people hold their picks like this. I think it's whatever suits you. I get along just fine doing this, but if you feel better doing this, go for it. This is a chart of the mountain dulcimer frets. Some mountain dulcimers have a fret in between frets 1 and 2 called the 1.5 fret. My mountain dulcimer does not. Some mountain dulcimers do not have a 6.5 fret. Mine does. Those dulcimers would be more on the traditional side of what we have seen in the past. However, it's becoming more common to see mountain dulcimers with the 6.5 fret. Notice how some frets are longer and some frets are shorter on the mountain dulcimer. Frets that are longer are typically a whole step apart from the notes next to them, and shorter frets are a half step apart from the note next to them. If you're still new to looking at a dulcimer, whole steps and half steps might be easier to see on something like a piano. So take D, for instance. A whole step from D would be E. A half step from D would be D sharp, or if you were going down, would be E flat. Whole step, half step. Whole step, half step. Even here, even though they're white keys, this would be a half step between the notes E and F, because there's no note in between these two notes. We're going to look at the D major scale, or the Ionian mode. Ionian mode is just a fancy way of saying major scale, and we know it's a major scale because it's a whole, half, whole, half. These are the distance between the notes, a whole step versus a half step. This formula, whole, half, whole, half, is how we know for sure this is a major Ionian mode. So the one beneath it, whole, half, whole, is not in Ionian mode or a major scale. It's actually a mixolydian. So when we're looking at the two, the difference is going to be the difference between the C's. We have a C sharp, and then we have just a regular C in the mixolydian. So if you're playing the dulcimer and you want to play this scale on one string, you can actually do that. You can play this on your lower string or your higher string if you have it tuned to D. But if you do not have a 6.5 fret, you will be playing it in mixolydian instead of in major. The next scale we're going to be looking at today is the G major scale, or the G Ionian mode. It has the same formula: whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half, just like the D major scale does. Okay, so if you look at that, and the numbers up there is just where you can find the notes, and I did brown to signify that you're changing the strings. But I'll show you that in a simpler way as we go over this scale together. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. This is strum pattern number 1. You can play either away or towards you. There's no right or wrong, it's just whatever feels best for you. One, two, ready, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's try to pick up the pace a little bit. 1, 2, ready, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. This next drum pattern is going to go 1, 2, 3, rest. 1, 2, 3, rest. 1, 2, 3, rest. 1, 2, 3, rest. All right, let's try to kick it up a little bit. 1, 2, ready, here we go. 1, 2, 3, rest. 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 This next strum pattern is very much like the one we just did, only we're going to have the rest at the very beginning on beat 1. One, two, ready, here we go. Rest. 2, 3, 4, 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 rest. 2, 3, 4. We'll try to speed it up. One, two, ready, here we go. Rest. 2, 3, 4, rest. 2, 3, 4, rest. 2, 3, 4, rest. 2, 3, 4. The next rest is going to be on beat 2. We will try it together, nice and slow. One, two, ready, here we go. 1, rest, 3, 4. 1, rest, 3, 4. 1, rest, 3, 4. 1, rest, 3, 4. Let's try it a little bit faster. Ready? Here we go. 1, rest, 3, 4. 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 Our last strum pattern is going to have the rest on beat 3. One, two, ready, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, rest, 4. 1, 2, rest, 4. 1, 2, rest, 4. 1, 2, rest, 4. Let's take it up. 1, 2, ready, here we go. 1, 2, rest, 4. 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 I actually played banjo before I learned how to play the mountain dulcimer, but when you're playing Scruggs style banjo, something you get really good at is playing roll patterns. We're going to look at a forward roll today, so you're just going to take your hand just like this. Whichever hand that you are going to strum with is the same one that you're going to pick with. So I'm using my right hand, and you're going to bend your pointer finger or your index finger, your middle finger, and your thumb. Just in that order. Index, middle, thumb, index, middle, thumb, index, middle, thumb, index, middle, thumb, index, middle, thumb. And when you feel like you've got a pretty good hang of this, then try it starting with your thumb. So take a pause. We're going to go thumb, index, middle, 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 thumb, index, middle. So when you're actually playing this on the dulcimer, it's going to look like this. Starting with the index finger, starting with the thumb. Now you don't have to have finger picks in order to finger pick. A lot of times you might see people use them, and that's totally fine if that's the sound they prefer, but I find that it gives the dulcimer a bit of a harsh sound. I think that it sounds a lot more mellow if you just use your fingertips. I do use picks when I play the banjo because the banjo is meant to sound very punchy, but I don't feel like that's the same sound that we're trying to get from the dulcimer. Unless you are, then that's totally up to you. The strum pattern for Bile, Cabbage down will go like this. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 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 1, 2, ready, here we go. I'm going to correct the rhythm in the original file, so everything is going to be updated in the file that I have in the description box. But for Twist and Shout, the rhythm for that is going to be 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're going to put, I said hold, but we're going to put a rest on beat 4 in the first measure. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, and 4. For copyright purposes, I am not going to include the song, but you can easily look up the song Twist and Shout and play along with your dulcimer. I will go ahead and play the chords for you. 1, 2, ready, here we go. That this video helps you in your dulcimer playing journey. Until next time, I hope you meet good people, make great music, and pick peace.